More pack buying ahoy. So we got 32k here. We're going to spend 25k of it per usual. I also wanted to say I added some things to the leaderboard. We got my Hall of Fame score, but more importantly, and by more importantly I mean less importantly but newer, if we scroll all the way past all these things I have, I added wins above what a certain rating would have. So like, why is it doing, what? That's weird, do you see that? Why did it color in green where I had the mouse over? Anyway, that's weird. So over here, like, Delial, for instance, oh, this is running real weird. Anyway, Delial, for instance, has 109 wins. And I did some algebra. Very proud of myself. Algebra has been a long time. But I did a whole bunch of algebra. It probably won't sound like that much, but it took like transforming this and then retransforming it into that and then, stuff. To figure out if you took all his games and he had been an average player, how many wins would he be expected to have gotten? And then how many wins above that is he? An average player being 2000 rated. And he has 53 more wins than an average player would have gotten. Now, that's not quite true because he has 109 wins. And because an average player would have won so much less, they would have played so many fewer rounds, right? They would not have played all the number of games he did because they would have lost sooner and not gotten those games in. So actually the real number's larger, but I liked the idea of how many wins above an average player over his whole career of games would he have, even if you can't really insert it one for one. And then 2100 is a very strong player, so I asked how many wins would you have above that, and we have the list here. And then 2200 is just an absolutely excellent player, and 2300 is an all-time player. I cut off each list at the positive entries rather than including people who are like 3 wins below or whatever. So you can see, the chart ends at some point in the blue over on the right. But I thought these were interesting things to add, and so I added them. And that brings us back to pack buying. We're going to buy 25,000 worth of plats because I've now started, at least, and we're about halfway through the draft tournament I started, and I want to just pick some cards to draft and have fun with. So we're going to be building hands. We're going to see 5 cards from this pack. Then the next one, I'm going to say we can't pick the card on the far right, as if one card was taken out, like in my draft cup, until we can only pick the card on the far left for our 5th card. So our first pack, we can choose between all 5. I think A864 versus 6778 is pretty clearly the choice. And I think what you really want is a balanced enough hand that the 5th card that comes can't ruin it. And you might think that leads me towards 6778, but I think you want to commit and cover the corners. I'm going to start with Selfie. I'm going to say Selfie is my first pick. I will also say we got my first rare the last time, I believe, or 2 times ago. I lose track. Alright, so we have Selfie as our first card, A864. Now we can only take the first 4 cards, we cannot take Eris. Now it's kind of annoying that 7A66 is the same corner. I really have a lot of respect for the A766 types. I think I want to go 15A9. I don't love the card, but it leaves me really directionally pretty neutral. Right? I have 11 power up, I have 13 to the right, I have 16 down, I have 13 to the left. I'll keep an eye out for more ups, but I have a 10 going up, it can't be that bad. I think that leaves me with the most freedom moving on. We're going to really try to stay balanced in this first section. In this first picks. Maybe we'll try other strategies for other things. Alright, so we can only pick the first 3 cards. And sadly, they are all corners we already have a corner for. We have A864, which is very similar to 9A52, and we have 15A9, which is certainly similar to 26A8. So I think I'm going to pick 368A as the most... No, I should pick 26A8. I think that is the most natural pairing with Selfie. Yeah, but ooh, this is getting tricky. And I'm not allowed to pick either of the last 2 cards because this is my 3rd pack. Alright, that was tough. That was a tough pack to see. So we now have 2 corners for 3 and 1 for 7. We have to pick between the first 2 cards, and sadly we see another corner for 7 What a nightmare. I wish we could pick the card on the far right. 6787 is pretty balanced, and at this point, maybe we should just take that rather than have two opposite pairs of corners. But we have a 1 and a 3 going up. I'd like to add to that, right? Given our total power, 9956 actually balances out the hand power well. It's just that we have it with this ridiculous doubling of corners. 6787. You know what? I'm going 9956. And for our final pack for the hand, we get Titus. Oh god, another corner for 3. Well, that went horribly. If you would have ended up with a better hand, please let me know. Remember, from the first pack, you could have picked 5, from the second 4, from the third only from the first 3. Because I feel like with these packs, I was going to end up with an unbalanced hand. And I'm not sure I could have logically ended up with something better, though, of course, possibly could have. Alright, so we got a new draft. I'm going to take 8678. I love 8876s. It's both a good corner and leaves me relatively balanced. Alright, I think we want to take... You might be thinking I'll go 6878, but I don't think that's as strong a corner. I want to go Marley. I like having A's. I think A's are really useful. We have a corner for 7, a corner for 9. They don't play particularly well together, but as long as we get some cards with good downs, I feel good about this hand. Okay, so we can only pick from the first 3 cards, and I think this pick is very straightforward. We're definitely going 548A. It is a card for 3 and a wonderful pairing with Marley. Tons of same wall synergy. And it has good synergy with 8678, which can plus wall its 8 as well. Oh, this hand's going so much better. Can we get a card for 1? We cannot. We have to choose between 8965 and 9657. Tempted to just take the 8965 because it has more down. It also has some synergy, the 8 with the 548A, but the 9657 has a little also with the 5 part of the 548A. The 9657 can also, if it goes in 9, 8678 has the recapture. I'm going to go 9657, but currently my planned starter is 9657 and 1. Go in the weak corner. And for our 5th card, sadly we couldn't get the 4 corners. Our 5th card is Barrett. Ooh. So we're definitely starting in 1, right? Because we have 3 cards kind of for 9. Yeah, we got a semi-rare in Sephiroth. That's nice. Alright, well that was much better than the first attempt, and I feel pretty good about that hand. And number 3. I really like A964s. We're going to start with A946. I think that's a good place to start. I know there are people who would start with more balanced things like 8667 or grab some double numbers, but I think A964s just have tremendous play against all kinds of numbers. Just very strong cards. One of the best in a vacuum. We got Waka and Lulu. So given our first pick, it's between Titus and Waka. And I think Waka has significantly more play with our starter, and I would probably pick 8866s over 8865s in general. So we got A946 and Waka. I feel really good about that start. I think that's a very strong start. And we got another A9. So I'm going to go 936A. It's a card I really like. I've won a tournament using it, and it gives us another corner. Oh, this is a very good start to a hand. If we can get a good card for 1, then it almost doesn't matter what our last card is. Alright, sadly we can only pick from the first 2 cards, so I cannot grab 28A6. So we gotta think. We have 6688. We have A946, which you can see. We have 936A. I think I want the down power of 6399. Yeah, I'll take 6399, but obviously that was not what we were looking for. And for our final card, we got 8595, which ain't bad. Doesn't fit great. But the 8-up maybe we can use. I could imagine this hand starting with 8595 and 8. Seems like the hand might have decent play around that. Also in 1. Yeah. I could also see starting 6399 in 1. I think that leaves you with a bunch of... Your cards should play well after that. Actually, 6399 and Robo have some decent play in a bunch of squares. So there might be a nice way to use that. So that 6399 probably was the right pickup. I think that's the best hand we've gotten yet. And let's go on to number 4. Alright, let's start with Ject. Leaves us very good in 3 directions. It's our corner for 1. Okay, I think Steiner is the best card and the best fit, even if they're not like a great fit, just general directional power feels really good. A9s are just always very good to take, especially A9 corners. Okay. Now we can only pick from the first 3 cards. Seems like a pretty easy Vormav. Ject is really happy to see 8s. We now have 3 corners covered. There's probably an argument for Phoenix, but I think Ject is better and Vormav is better and a better fit. Though you could definitely argue for Phoenix. I'm gonna go Vormav. I feel more comfortable running that card. Alright, can only pick from the first 2 cards we see. So here's where we hit troubles. We have Vormav for 3, we have Ject for 1, and we have Steiner for 9. Orin kind of gives us an up-down. It doesn't play well with Vormav, even if it has the same numbers, though. I hate having another 3 to the right. So I think we gotta go Bahamut. We don't have an A down. I think we gotta go Bahamut. The 4th pack is so tough. It's just so easy to get something you really don't want. Graph is a fantastic card to close with. I think this is the best hand yet. We have 4 corners. Graph pairs so well with Vormav. Steiner and Ject are quite strong. And Bahamut is a card we can chuck somewhere. Bahamut's backside pairs well with Steiner. Yeah, we got play here. This is the best hand yet, I think. And we have spent 10k points drafting 4 hands. Everyone better than the last. Alright. So I think there are 3 different cards people might think is not just the pick, but like obviously correct. I think it's probably... I think A9s are better than A865s. So I think it's 5A94 versus 5599. Now, having so many double numbers is just really good at covering 10s. Maybe that's where you want to be. I like A9s though. Here's the thing. My brain says the A9 is the better card. But I'm also thinking the 5599 gives enough coverage that I have more room for other things to not synergize. And maybe in this format, that's the goal. We're going to go with Ayla. I'd love to see those other cards in another pack, though. They all fit quite well. Alright. We'll take Arania. Good tri-directional power. It would be nice for our card for 7 to have an A facing out, just so Ayla has fun stuff to hit against. So I think this is a pretty comfortable Arania. 971A. You can only take the first 3 cards. Now, Ramses is definitely my favorite card. And I think it's got to be the pick. I really need some right power. Would have been nice to get X Death or something here, but Ramses is a very good card, plays well with Irania's 9 and its 10. Yeah, Ramses, and we really need some right power. Okay, can only pick from the first 2 cards. Here is where it all goes bad. These 4th packs kill me. I wish we could take a White Mage or Snow or 9927. Any of those would be great here. As is, I think it's got to be Quina. Quina plays pretty well with Ramses. Like, if Quina ever lands in 5, Ramses has same walls and plus walls on 2 sides. I think Quina in 3 could be a decent starter with Ayla as a recapturer. And Irania and Ramses are fairly happy to face towards the top right. So I think it's got to be Quina. I think that's the clearly better fit here. And for our last card, please give me something to the right. We must take Rafa, which is kind of terrible because it's really similar to Quina, and we have not continued our streak of consecutive good hands. It'd be funny if I moved the rare off so it would be easier to see when I got rares. Got a Sephiroth. It would be funny if I had gotten a rare on the side and just not noticed it because I was focused on drafting, but we did not. So that was our 5th. We've been through 12,500 points. We will be drafting 10 hands today. So hand number 6. We're going 6886. I do like 8866. It's quite a lot. I don't like these cards very much. 5779's redundancy on a corner 6-8 covers is not great. I don't like 5876 that much either, and it's a corner I have. 9862 and 9872 are usually really awkward except on the right stips. I'm gonna go 5779. We're gonna go with the Spoony Bard here, but could just be wrong. So you got 6886 and 5779. Have to pick from the first 3 cards. I think it has to be 9945, but I'm really worried that we don't have an A here. I think, you know, we have cards for 3 corners, sort of. We're fairly balanced, but we don't have much power. Have to pick among the first 2 cards. Geez, what did I just take? I took 9954. 9945. I wish it was 9954. I think it's got to be Alexander. A9 is useful, and also the backside gives us a weak corner we can play around. I would take A757 or A548 if we could, but it's got to be Alexander, and hopefully we get a card that's left up for our last card. No, we did not. Alright, this hand sucked. I mean, we did get 2 9s. We got a 6886. We're just very reliant on a 5779. And that's not the kind of card you want to, like, pin all your leftwards hopes on. Alright, hand number 7. No level 10s. We're going to go the A943. I believe in A9s. I think they're quite a card. Well, with our first card, I really like 7676. But I think we're going to go Ayla, 5599. We got 2 really good opposite corners. We got an A9 and a double number thing that plays well with it. So I think this is a really pleasant start. The 8-3 A9 gives us full coverage of our A9 corner. It also has a 3 paired with the A9's 3, which has a lot of same potential. And also I can say it covers 9, which is a corner we don't have. So I think this is a pretty easy 8-3, 8-9. 7967 does a few similar things, but I think is not quite as good here. It is a card I would like more in general. Like a first pick, I'd probably go that way. Alright. Though I don't think we could pick it, because that was our 3rd pick, and it was in the 4th slot. Forgot about that. So we have cards for 1, card sort of, or sorry, a card for 3, a card for 6, and a card for 7. Huh. So 5A7, 5. Do I have to do it? I want Loki. But I just picked 8, 3, 8, 9. We're going to be disciplined. We're going to take 5A7, 5. We're pretty balanced going into the last card. I quite like the tools we have. 5A7, 5 actually can play off one of Ayla's 5s, gives us double number coverage of another corner. No, I should feel very good about this. We have 4 corners. Let's just get a card that, like, you know, some nice up down and we're delighted. Sure. Yeah, the 5-5-A7 covers that. So that can either, like, start in 1 and be pretty well supported. I've already forgotten what our card for 9 is. 8-3-8-9, so I guess it has to be retaken by A9-4-3 if needed, but that's okay. Or it can go in 9 and be really easily recapturable. I think this is a good hand. Not a bad final card for the hand. Okay. Hand number 8. I think this is Terra versus 8-7-A4. I really like 8-7-A4. But I really like Terra as well. A8 6-5s are good. I just don't like them as much as A9s. A8 7-4s, I really like the configuration where the A and 8 are on far ends. It's one of my favorite kind of up-down type cards. I'm going to take Terra, but I think it could be either one. Start with Terra. Okay. There's a case for 3998. I think 6886 is just a much more obvious fit. So let's not try to be clever. We have Terra, and we have a really good complement to Terra. One of the, probably like the best, maybe the single like best card other than Celis you could see after drafting Terra. Okay. Our third pack, so we can only pick one of the first 3. It's definitely not 8739. I think it's probably 8766. I like how it plays with 6886. And it's sort of a corner we don't have yet, while leaving us pretty balanced. Alright. I feel good about this hand. We have to take one of the first 2 cards, and sadly they are pretty terrible. There's a case for A3-5-7 because it is easier for Terra to take in a lot of spots. Do I want to commit to that? Thinking about my other cards in the hand. 6-6-8-8, 8-7-6-6. Picking off 9s, it's only going to be 9s in the opponent's hand on that 6-7. I don't have 6s to the right. I think either of these cards I'll want. I'm going to go A5-7-3. This may be a ridiculous overthinking, but I think it's going to be a card out of my hand quickly, and so I want my hand to be able to take it easily. And our last card is 5-6-A6. Seems like not fantastic, but a perfectly decent fit. We're happy to see down power. We didn't have too much. Yeah. That's a solid hand. I like it. 2 more of these. A9-6-4. Can't turn it down. 9-9-8s are really good. Maybe for the last one, I'll try to start with something like Sid, and we'll see where we go. Actually, you know what? I would take the A9-6-4. Let's see what happens if we take Sid for science. We'll think about how would we build around Sid? I mean, we got to pick Ramza next, right? We have a horizontal and a vertical. Sure, we could take Krelian, but no, we're not doing that. Got Ramza and Sid. Now we can kind of take any corner that comes our way. So, Orlandu versus 9964. Tempted to go FF Tactics Tribal here. Yeah, I think we want... Yeah, I think we want 10s in this hand. But the 9s play so well with our things. No, I'm going to go 9964. I think the 9s... We want 9s and 10s, but I think we want the 9s a little more. I got to take one of the first two cards. Now I wish we had Orlando, because Orlando and Luca would give us very balanced hand going into the final pack. I think we still take Luca. The 4 pairing with 9964's 4 is pretty nice. And the other card, Phoenix, doesn't give us much. And for our final card, 9269. So we ended up with a pretty serious down problem, despite getting Ramza with the second pick. Now you might say, if I had taken Orlando third, we wouldn't have. And actually, if we had taken Orlando third and ended up with a 9269, oh my god, what a pairing. But I also don't think we can know that in real time, right? There's just as much chance if we take Orlando that we end up with no ups as if we take 9964 that we end up with no downs. So I don't know that that's a decision we can really it's hard to judge there. But I think that's not one I can feel all that bad about, right? We were pretty neutral both directions. I guess we were better going up than down, but by 1 point, right? Rams is slightly better up than down, but it's not by much. Okay. Our last pack of the day. So we got an A9 corner, but its other numbers are bad. We got a solid A8 corner for the same corner, and we have an A9 with good numbers, but not a corner. I think it's between those 3 cards. I don't know. I want to try going for vertical and horizontal stuff again and seeing what happens. Because I want to see, because last hand I think ended up as a mess, but I want more data on that. So we're going to start with Chrono and see how messy a hand we draw. Okay. I think we're going to go 7A29 and say we have pretty good power in all directions. You know, we have A or 9 in every direction. So now hopefully we're free to just take whatever good corners come. Got to go in the first 3 cards. I think Robo. Nothing strikes me as an amazing fit synergistically. You could say the 5 downs can be picked off by the 7-2 part, but I think that's not really a thing. So let's go Robo. So we got Chrono, Ferris, Robo. I mean, 7-7-A3, right? We have 2 cards to choose. Yeah. I had forgotten that we're down to just these 2 picks. 7-7-A3 is a great pickup here with Robo. Oh my god. Yeah. And actually, we should be pretty resistant to the final card at this point. Yeah, not ideal because we already have a corner there. But I think we're balanced. That's an uncomfortable fit. Fit and Chrono are not great at... Trying to think what our intended starters might be. I think it was a bad 5th card, but not bad enough to really hurt the hand. Alright, so we spent 25k more on Platts. Hope it was interesting. Hope the drafting was interesting. Did you draft better hands than I did? Probably. And I'll see you next time.